Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marcello Occurrence Rain back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-America all day, anti-telepathy all day, and anti-cop all day, and everybody with them. So this video is going to be about talking about the better good. I'm gonna define the better good. I'm gonna define what's not the better good because these crazy Americans walking around talking about doing things for the better good, harming innocent people for the better good, people that defeated them because of their lack of morality, which the good people called them on. They want to talk about getting rid of people of the likeness of that for their better good. Let's establish something. 40 states allowing adults to have sex with children is not the better good. You're not the better good. In this country, you're not the better good. The better good is Christians. The better good is Christians. I don't care how much of a family man you are. I don't care how much of a loving person you are. You are not the better good when 40 states is having sex with children. 40 states in America, just for those who might just be tuning in, the age of consent for sex is under 18 in 40 states, which means adults can have sex with children in 40 states. So how are you the better good? You are not better and you're not the good. Okay? Us Christians are the better good. I'm gonna take you to the Bible. Noah was one man and his family. Okay? They were the better good. Everybody else were destroyed by the flood. So when you look at numbers, you think because there's these big numbers of people that that's the better good. Not necessarily. Think about that for a minute. Not necessarily. The better good is the good. And if you got 40 states having sex with children and 12 states, this is two different laws. 40 states having sex with children. The age of consent is under 18 in 40 states. Then another law is 12 states allows no minimum age for marriage, which means that these people can marry these true perverted people can marry right here in America people that are under the age of 18 down to 9 and 8 years old in 12 states. They can marry them. Not only can they have sex with them, this law, they can marry them. That's worse. So the child becomes nothing but a sex object. The child becomes nothing but a sex object. And you call that the better good. You call these lawmakers the better good. You call the people that cause problems in this country like Donald Trump the better good. His supporters like that's the better good. Define what's the better good in this country. You don't have no better good. You don't represent the good anymore. And when that happens, guess what time it is? It's time for a flood. It's time for a flood. Sodom and Gomorrah, two people was who was it? Who was that? I think Abraham, Lot and his wife. Lot and his wife in Sodom and Gomorrah were the better good. Just a couple people, two people, and everyone else was destroyed. So you see how I'm making it. I'm keeping it biblical. I can make this biblical. That for all the Christians, for all the people that don't want to listen to me, you don't want to listen to me. Go to the Bible. I can show you. Noah's family was the better good. Everybody else was destroyed. So when you have that mentality, well, this person has to die for the better good. God didn't see it that way. Noah, they could have said that about Noah. Well, Noah building that boat, he's the one got to die. You get my point. They could have looked at them as the people that needed to die, and they were the better good, but they were not the better good. They died, and the better good was only Noah and his family. Lot and his wife were the better good, and everybody else died. But in America, you think your numbers mean you are the overall good cause or the good people, or you are the ones that should stay. Not in God's case. Not when now how God works. God looks at how you are, how your community is, and you can't just use one sin. It's all the stuff that you're doing. It's all the gang stalking. In fact, I'm gonna tell you something that bring judgment on this country, and probably has brought judgment on this country the quickest, is all these people killing their kids, all these people killing their own family members, black on black crime. All of this has to be defeated, and that's not the better good. And how massive is that? How massive is all of this going on? It's not the better good. So when you have that corny little cliche where we got to do stuff for the better good, you ain't the better good. How are you as a unit, as a unified unit, collective unit in America, the better good when you got 40 states having sex with children, you got 12 states that allows perverts to marry them? How are you representing some better good? Some better good. You don't represent that. That's just something that you learn for people that smile at each other and you think you're good and you got your little situations going on and you think that your little cliche or your little weak NutraSweet behavior means that you're the better good. You ain't the better good. It's all cliche. The better good wouldn't be having 40 states having sex with children. The better good would not be allowing adults to marry children when in the law is no minimum age, meaning they can lowest marry low as they want. Okay? That's not the better good. And you can try to ignore these laws. You can try to ignore what I'm saying. But God's not ignoring it. You can try. You can try. But God is not ignoring what I'm saying. You're not the better good. The better good does real good by children and the community, and you're not that anymore. You're killing each other. What else do you need to see? You're killing the children. You're killing each other. Black on black crime is at an all-time high. White people that are racist in America are never going to let black people totally free. So what is the better good? Define it. We want it defined. We don't want you just saying something that you are not defined by. You're not defined as the better good. Yeah, I hear people, oh, we're gonna do this for the better good. You ain't, man. I'm tell you something. If you never read the Bible before, you better start going and reading it now. Because all them numbers and you think you matter, you when it comes to this situation, because a lot of Americans think they're rock stars and famous. With no proof of it though. That's not gonna hold up when God comes and looks at the nature of your community. It's not gonna hold up. You have your own complex, famous complex here in America. Everybody wants to live like a rock star. Everybody think they're rock stars. That complex is going to be pulled down, and that invincible complex in America is going to be pulled down by God's judgment. Don't forget, the end of the world has to come. I know. You thought it was a game, and here's the thing: it's a part of life, just like death is a part of life. In other words, you're the generation that got to grow up and realize it's the end of the world. Just like you got to grow up and realize you can't last forever. There's no one here thinking they're going to live 1,000 years. Got anybody think they're going to live 1,000 years? Okay, so death is a part of life. Death is a part of life. And the end of the world is a part of life as well. Unfortunately, you're most likely are going to be the generations that have to mature and accept that the death of this earth is a part of the life that is to come, as far as your generations that and you're living it out. You're living out the end of the world. You're a part of it. So you have to mature, just like there's death is a part of life. We've all lost loved ones, all of us. Okay, we've all lost loved ones. Okay, we all have. And the mature thing is to understand this is a part of life. Whether you had plans, you had dreams for other people in your family. Unfortunately, it's time to hang up the hat. It's time to end the foolishness. Okay? The quickest way for it to be the end of the world is foolishness. I'll tell you right now, foolishness is the quickest way to end all of this. And that's what you're operating in every day. You're operating in foolishness. Arrogant of a American thinking you're a rock star that you have to live at all costs. People are dying in other countries all the time. You're the only people that think you gotta live. You must live. Get over yourself. As an American collective community, get over yourself and realize that you can die just like everybody else. You know one cliche you should think about? Everybody can be touched. That's what you need to think about, not me, your community that's doing foolishness. You need to think about that. I mean, because it's no one just lives under God's heavens, just lives. You've been doing wrong. You're not the better good. I showed you how, and I showed you how in the Bible that all millions of people can die, and the better good can be a handful of people, not you. Not just because you got numbers, not just because of that. You got numbers of people does not mean you're gonna live. The Bible shows you the people that died in the flood was millions of people, and they could have concluded, well, we're gonna live, and they're gonna die. Not if God sees them as the better good. If God sees good people in this country, and those good people are a handful of people, and everybody else is crazy and on something else, and the main thing is destroying other humans, which they're doing it at all times. Americans are just destroying humans like it's nothing, like they're animals. Killing humans is not like killing animals, and you've been killing each other for too long, and you still act like a brat, think that you're supposed to live. Like, why? You're killing your kids. White people, like I said, that are racist are not going to let African Americans and non-white people totally free. So there's always going to be this ongoing captivity. Black on black crime and gang banging, killing kids is at an all-time high all across metropolises, all across the country. Just because you don't see it don't mean it ain't going on. And that proves that you are not per se the better good. You think you are. It's your own figment. It's a figment of your imagination. You're not in reality the better good. Okay? And some will conclude that America is the worst part of humanity. You don't have anywhere else where it's gang banging and kids getting killed like that. You don't have that. Okay? You don't have ill intent so strong among the whole community anywhere else. Where, excuse me, where else in the community, the world community, where everyday people are so bent on killing each other? You can't name another place. You got rebels in other countries. You got even bad, corrupt governments. But where do you have everyday people that are just bent on killing each other? You can't tell me. You can't show me. There's nowhere else where people are just bent on that. Okay? So that being said, you know, stop flattering yourself, thinking you're the better good, thinking so highly of yourself, and you're not on that level. You don't practice morality and integrity like you think you do. You got 40 states having sex with children. So you can't talk about children. You can't talk about doing nothing for them, fighting for them, standing for them when you got 40 states having sex with children. Well, you got 12 states that's allowing adults, pervert adults in America to marry them. How are you the better good? Explain that to me. Okay? There is no better good. And I showed you in the Bible through the passages, through things that definitely are in the Bible, the history of the Bible. You can think all whatever you think of yourself and still get flooded and washed away, man. You can. Whether it's the flood with Noah or Sodom and Gomorrah, I could go on and on. God doesn't play when it comes to foolishness, man. You think you're good. You think you're the better good, and you're not the better good. You can't define beyond everything I told that you are actually doing. How can you still sit up and say you the better good? You can't talk about children. You can't act like you out here like some Power Ranger for children when you got 40 states having sex with children. If you was really about that life, you would have concluded the life of protecting children. You would realize that the biggest problem in America right now concerning protecting children is 40 states having sex with them. And the second problem is 12 states in America that allows people to marry them. So if you was really about protecting children, that's all I'm talking about. All these fly by willy people that just think they want to join doing stuff and think they protecting children. We ain't talking about you. Because if you were really about protecting children as a lifestyle, then you would already know about these laws that I'm telling you about. 40 states having sex with children, 12 states allowing people to marry them. These are lawmakers, not some child molester out here. These are lawmakers that sit down at desks and pass laws that allows 40 states to have sex with children and 12 states to marry them right here in the United States of America. Not in some third world country like you would think. Right here, 40 states allows adults to have sex with children. 12 states allows adults to marry them. So you're not the better good. And that's why in my opinion, maybe that's why you're suffering the most with COVID. It's just you can't live anyway and just think it's all good. And the first thing to get you wiped out is harming other humans physically. Going out here, that's the first thing. That's one of the worst things. That's something to get you taken out the quickest. As far as the spiritual world and the universe, no, and the overall real good, because you're a harm to humanity. Okay, it's hard. It's easy to understand. You're killing each other. It's nothing worse than that. It's nothing. Not sexual abuse, not molestation. Nothing is worse than humans killing other humans, and you're doing it in every facet of your community here in America. Everybody's doing it. Police killing each other, killing people, your community, killing innocent people. They ain't the better good. They killing you. The government conspired against who? Martin Luther King Jr. back and settled out of court in 1999 for conspiring against him. They were guilty of it. Paid his family $100. They're not the better good. That was the greatest leader in this country. He's gone because of the government. So you show me. Maybe I'm missing it. Because all that stuff you see on TV, all that stuff is fake, man. Hugging each other, family oriented. Ain't no family oriented when you killing each other and you got 40 states having sex with children. The TV is deceiving all these Americans. And some of these stars are deceiving them too, because you're making us feel that we're in a world that we're not in. We're not in a happy, we love the people world. We're in a world where 40 states have sex with children, 12 states allows adults to marry them, and people are gangbanging, killing children, black on black crime, and it's not some little side issue. This is worse than COVID. And this mentality will outlast COVID. This mentality, these people killing each other in America, will outlast COVID. And so I just thought to make this video because there's people out here, these conservative jerks that sit out here and talk about, well, we're going to do stuff for the better good. You ain't got no better good and you don't represent it. You don't represent it. You're not it. You're not that. And you don't represent it. We don't need you enforcing nothing because you allow 40 states to have sex with children. We don't need you to enforce anything. You've done enough damage. 12 states allows adults to marry children. We don't need you enforcing anything talking about some better good. We don't need you to do that. We need you to resign as a community, as a government. We need the American community to look at these 40 states having sex with children, 12 states with no minimum age to marry children, We need you to realize that you've done too much to come back, and we want a resonation of the brand of America. It don't mean people have to die. It doesn't mean that. What this means is this system that is called America has to resign because of the disgusting laws of children for children. Yes, it matters. You ready to kill somebody concerning children? Yes, you are. But you're not ready to make this government, this system resign. But you're ready to make somebody else resign from life by killing them. You ready to make some everyday American resign as soon as we start talking about children. But you don't want, and you don't, first of all, you don't know about the laws that 40 states have sex with children, 12 states allows adults to marry them. And this is the underlying reason why they should resign, because you would kill other people for it. So what they supposed to do? Just sit there? They supposed to just live because they are American system? No, no, no. You another one that think you supposed to live at all costs. Look at Rome. Rome did not last forever. The system of America, you are arrogant. You think you're rock stars. Some of you do. You think you're gonna last forever. You have done enough wrong with these laws that I am asking for you to resign. Even if you had a good heart towards children, you shouldn't even want to work for this country anymore that allows 40 states to have sex with children. I don't care what job it is. The first uh, the first thing Americans should do is stop working. Stop the system. Stop working. You don't got to go to the Capitol like them people did in January 6th, 2021. You don't got to do that. Stop working for them. Stop supporting the system that allows 40 states to have sex with children. Stop supporting the system that allows 12 states to marry children with no minimum age. That's what the first step is. Stop supporting the system. This ain't no game, because God is listening to me. I don't know what you other people are doing. I don't know what you other Christians are doing. I don't know what you other preachers are doing. I know that this is more important than anything else concerning this country. Concerning this is more important than anything else. And you can try to ignore it. You can try to act like it's a problem you can fix. But why would you want to work and fix a system that has done this? You shouldn't even want to fix it. You shouldn't even want to repair it. You shouldn't want them to do nothing else. You should want them to resign as a brand. Now, what we have after that, that's a whole million issues, different situation. That's a whole different situation. Okay? But it's enough at face value for what is called America to resign as a brand. I want to look in some of y'all face and see somebody who has the guts to tell me this country should go on after 40 states is having sex with children. That this country should go on after 12 states with no minimum age for marriage. This country should go on. I want to see anybody who has the guts to say it should go on, or they will work for a country like that. You in hiding right now. You're in hiding right now. That's why you don't hear nobody talking about kids. You know why? Because it triggers people to realize that know these things that I know, that 40 states is having sex with children. 12 states allows no minimum age for marrying children. 12 states allows no minimum age for marrying children. And if all my new listeners, America has the lowest age of consent for sex as far as modern day world records, meaning no one has ever passed laws that had the lowest age of consent as America. They have the lowest age of consent world record in modern day record keeping history. They have the low. It's not Africa. It's not Russia. It's not China. It's not any of those places. No sex slave places. None of those sex slave places. Right here in the USA, they have the lowest world record for the lowest age of consent. And the people that passed those laws, the laws were passed in the state of Delaware in 1880, and the age of consent was 7 years old. That means 7 men were having sex with 7-year-olds. Okay? And how many 7-year-olds you think they were with? 5? Don't be silly. They were with hundreds of thousands of 7-year-old girls right in this country, and you should call them to resign just off that.